Hello, you're welcome to this channel and you're welcome to this video. I am Dr. Olayinka Akanle. I'm a lecturer at the university. I'm a researcher, I'm a scholar, I'm a life coach, I'm a public speaker. And I do a number of things on this channel. But all the stuff that I do in this channel, you can cluster them into sociology, relationships, research, migration, project management, and achievement, how to achieve your life goals. So all of these I put together to be sure that you are the best in achieving your life goals and you are the best in anything that you do. So I do tangential videos that will make sure that you are the best you can be. So if it's your first time of coming in contact with my videos or coming onto this channel, you are welcome. Kindly subscribe, tap the notification button, like, share widely, and drop your comment. However, if you are a return viewer and you have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, kindly subscribe. Thank you for your support over time, and I'm very particularly happy that you are here once again today. Today, I simply want to talk about a topic I decided to title, what I decided to call top tips to write excellent problem statement or statement of problem. So it depends on the schools or the school you are, the country you are, the organization you have, your institution, and your interest. In some countries, in some contexts, it's regarded as problem statements. In some school institutions, some countries, it's regarded as statement of problem. Regardless of what it's called, it's same of the same. So I will just give you important tips. Because from my experience, I discovered this is one of the most difficult issues that people face when they want to write. Maybe their report, their project, BSc undergraduate project, dissertation, thesis, or even if it's operational research. It's a major problem that people usually face, and I think it's very important for me to contribute towards this direction. I've attended many postgraduate seminars, I've examined theses, I've supervised students, and I've written a lot of reports when I do operational researches. And I think this is a great problem. I've seen students or people doing research becoming stranded because you hear so many comments about, well, I don't see any problem here. We can't see your project, statement of problem clearly. So there's no problem here. We don't know the direction you want to travel. We don't know what you want to do. So, and I think this is a major problem. Fundamentally, I think writing problem statement or statement of problem is a great problem that people usually have when they want to write up or when they want to even conceive or put their proposals together. It's a major. And if your problem statement or statement of problem is not clear, I don't know how you want to do that research. It's not going to be very, very easy for you. So, and based on feedback, also request, and also my experience, I decided to put this video together to assist you. Well, number one thing you have to know actually is that you cannot be random in writing your problem statement. You have to be very intentional and you have to reflect over time. You must have digested the issues in your mind and mentally. You can't just jump into the paper and start writing. This is one of the most important parts of your research or proposal. What do I mean by this? If you cannot vividly conceptualize or define or visualize, mentally speaking, what you want to research into, there's no way you're going to be able to write it. So don't just jump into your paper. And you must bear in mind that problem statement or statement of problem requires a lot of creative thinking. You need to be very creative. You need to be very, very detailed in terms of your mental capability. You must spend quality time to digest the issues clearly. So maybe I should start from the angle of what can we describe as problem statement or similar problem. What is problem statement? This can be regarded as vivid, clear summation, description, explanation of the problem you want to solve or the issue you want to change. That means you have every research or every project intends to solve a problem or to address an issue or to change a situation. So, problem statement or statement of problem is a clear explanation, clear description of the issue that you want to change or the problem you want to solve. It's a summation. And you have to bear in mind, if it is a summation, if it sums up what you want to do, then it means you have to be brief. Brevity is very important. Clarity is very important. I've examined many theses many actually, dissertation, many of them, projects, many of them. You see many project or thesis or dissertation or report having statement of problem running that will be running into tens of pages. Some will run into 11, 12, 20 pages. I don't think that's appropriate because you can't call 20 pages or 11 pages some summation again or vivid or clear write up, because you have to be brief so that you need to be sharp. So your mental problem statement must be sharp. However, it depends on your school or your supervisor. There's some supervisor who think you just have to keep writing. But if you write too many pages in your problem statement, then it becomes so unwieldy. It becomes so verbose. And brevity sometimes is mastery. So statement of problem should be smart. My recommendation for my students is usually not more than 1.5 pages or 2 pages. Maximum 2.5 pages or 3 pages. Maximum is 3 pages. You can't do 5 pages, 7 pages for me in problem statement because it's not going to be sharp anymore. So I usually recommend brief and sharp and smart problem statement. So if you are on your PhD or your master's or undergraduate, definitely you're going to need to write problem statement or statement of problem. But if it's operational research, if it's private sector driven, they usually do operational research. And this operational research, they may not have a section that we can call problem statement or statement of problem, but so this is likely to be embedded in your introduction and background. So if you do operational research, it doesn't mean that you won't have problem statement, but it's just that it may not be called problem statement depending on your TOR or your brief. You may have to subsume it under your introduction or the rest of it. So it's very important that you have reflexive thinking as you want to write your problem statement, and you must have, your problem statement must answer the question, why is this important? Why is this urgent? Why is this problem, why is this issue important? And why is it urgent? Because you have to create urgency and importance from clearly in your statement of problem. That's why everybody will say, wow. It must have the wow effect. People say, wow, this is actually urgent. And this statement of problem statement must also address, it may have to address social problem or technical problem. Therefore, your same problem must be able to show us clearly what the problem is or what the problems are in terms of social problems or technical problems. Maybe it's just purely theoretical or academic research. We must be able to see the gaps in your statement of problem. And you must be able to give us proofs or evidence, maybe through citations or cases, to show us that actually this problem, this issue exists and we need to talk about it. So we need to research into it. So you don't have to be bogus in your statement of problem, actually. Problem statement must not be bogus. You must not be over-ambitious in your problem statement. So be smart, be brave, and don't promise what you cannot deliver. And a major way of writing a problem statement is that you must have done extensive review of literature. Because it's from literature most of the time that you see the gaps in knowledge. I did a video on how to publish in impact factor journals or to be published by reputable journals. That means you must do cutting-edge research. That means you must have done extended or extensive literature research for you to be able to see the gaps that you want to fill. So whether it's social, you must be able to show even in literature and from practice. And if it is academic research that is purely theoretical or epistemological, then it means you must have done extensive literature review and you must have citations, current citations. A simple statement of problem you don't need to cite. I don't think that's appropriate because you need to show us the gap. And when you show us the gap, you must have read and reviewed literature and cite a few, not so many. It's not literature review now. It's problem statement that must be brief and short. So key current citations need to be put there for us to see. So your statement of problem must be scholarly, must be technical, and must raise social alarm. You must raise technical alarm, social alarm, theoretical alarm, and methodological. And you must raise awareness. It must raise awareness about the issue. Why should people pay close attention to what you want to do? And you must be able to solve problems. So in this your literature review, you must be able to show gaps. Don't forget, from your statement of problem, we must be able to see your objectives and the research process. That's why sometimes research is iterative. Iterative in the sense that you keep working forward and backward until you get your perfect scenario or your perfect writing. What does this mean? From your statement of problem, we must be able to see your objectives. In which direction are you traveling? That means we must be able to see. So when we finish your statement of problem and we go to your objectives, we must see handshake between your objectives and statement of problem. As a beginner, I always advise beginners you may have a formula is for you to use your objectives to form sections or paragraphs in your statement of problem. Such that once you have objective 1, you may have, after the background introductory section of that statement of problem, which may be the first paragraph, the second paragraph should address your first objectives. Your first objective, in the sense that you engage systematically that objective in a paragraph. So it's clear. When you are done with that, maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs you want to use to do that, the second objective, you will be able to see it in another paragraph. Third objective in another paragraph or 2. Your fourth objective like that. So you are clear. And if you want to publish that thesis or project in the future, you can copy sections of your statement of problem. It's very interesting. I'm finding it very, very, very interesting the way I'm narrating it. Because research is a process. So we must be able to see, even for your problem statement, we must be able to see your total research. So it's very important. And we must be able to see the problem you want to solve in all of this as you are doing your work. I must be able to see your proposed, the direction you will travel. Even for your problem statement, I should be able to see even your research design. Now, okay, based on this problem statement I'm seeing ahead in front of me, what research design with this person? You may not say it clearly, but you should be able to, we must be able to compartmentalize your study from your problem statement. So you may be able, you may be able to use your objectives, which you must have derived from social experiences or technical experiences or your literature review. I don't suggest so many objectives. Maybe maximum of 5 I usually suggest. You don't have thesis within thesis. So you are able to manage it very clearly. So let it be known like that you can then use the objective to form different sections. At the same time, when you are doing your literature review, part of what you may want to do in your problem statement is to see the gaps you want to fill in terms of social problems, the social issues. You can also look at, as well, you may be able to show us also the theoretical gaps, what have been done in theoretical terms that have not been done that your work wants to fill. We can also see methodological gap. What methodology or methodologies have been used that and have not been used that you want to use. We can also look at maybe the contextual scenarios. Maybe there have been so many researches in that area that in other countries but has not been done, or other continents but not been done in your own continent or your own country. Or maybe also you can also maybe this work have been done in some other disciplines but have not been done in your own discipline. So you can look at it from engage your statement of, depending on your research actually, can get your present statement from theoretical angle, methodological angle, contextual angle, social angle, and other technical and disciplinary angles. You see? So present statement, if you have open mind that it must be clear, it must be vivid, it must explain, and you must be reflexive, you must be critical in your thinking, you must have done extensive literature review, and you must be brief, and must be smart. So it doesn't have to be bogus and verbose. So if you look at all these parameters I have set, then it will be easier for you to write that problem statement clearly. And also you have to link every of your components together so that you can also, so research is a process actually. And from your problem statement, that's the most technical part of the work when you're starting. Introduction and background is usually, if you are doing academic research, usually before problem statement. But the real work begins at the level of your problem statement, because this is where we will see and see of a truth this research is worthwhile. So, but don't just be random. Don't be afraid. It's very look at the way I've broken it down. If you have that at the back of your mind, reflect, review literature extensively so you are clear. If it's a social problem, review literature in that direction to be clear in the literature. And if it's a project, operational research or NGO, review literature and review projects that have been done in the same client to know what is new, because your research must be new, must be able to contribute something new. You must be able to show what has not been done that you want to do, what has been done that you don't want to do again. Because you must contribute something new. That's the only way your research can be cutting edge. I recommend cutting edge research for people, not just do research as though you just want to do research, just want to get busy, or you just need a degree, or just need to be funded. So no, bring something new. About literature review and your experience, socially, disciplinarily, you can zero that. Then you review literature along that line. But be mindful, be vivid, be reflexive, be critical in your thinking, be original. This is another very important point. Be original. Stand out of the crowd by doing unique studies and be sure that you will contribute something new to knowledge. So if you follow this I've said in this video, I'm sure the problem statement will not be a problem again. I've seen this is a big problem. I've seen many people come down on this account. People say they can't, and that's why many people don't find it very difficult to win grants or be funded. And that's why many people find it difficult to publish in impact factor journals or be published by reputable publishers. Because from your statement of problem, we can't see anything new. And nobody will publish or fund a research that is not well stated, that the problem is not clear, that the problem is not well stated, that we can't see the wow effect, that we can't say this is a nice work. Because you can't describe it vividly. Don't forget, it's a clear, vivid, smart explanation of the research you want to do, of the problem you want to solve, of the issues you want to change. That's very important. Until I see you in the next video, kindly subscribe, kindly share video widely, kindly drop your comments, kindly like, and please subscribe. And until I see you in the next video, go and be your best.